need a coach to help you with the learning curve. So if you do it on your own, you can do it, but it's going to take you twice as long. Whereas if you have somebody that knows what they're doing, they can help you get there a lot faster.
Dude, that's the
what I did. Right.
Best part about having a coach.
Right.
Absolutely. Welcome to the BeMoHappy Show. I'm your host, Morris Chasson, confidence coach for both introverts. I help introverts overcome fear, maximize their performance so they can excel, and extrovert careers feeling good about themselves. On this episode, I have my good friend, Paul Guidry. He's a local legend here in the area in Houma, Louisiana. Kind of talks a little bit about his story and coming up as a bodybuilder and doing his first show and just the mindset that it really takes. I won't waste any more of you guys' time. Here we go.
It was that one, and then one of your earlier shows, you mentioned about the school system, and I see you talk about it all the time. Yeah, really. I mean, you posted something today about it.
Dude, it's like I just want to help bring awareness for people, because I don't think a lot of people understand like what happens to you as a person, as an individual, like going through that system. You know what I'm saying? Because it royally fucks us big time, and
right.
I don't know.
I mean, it's basically a glorified babysitter is what it is. It's a place to put your kids while you go to work. They're not learning anything. I mean, public school, they're not learning anything.
Dude,
I mean, some public schools are better than others, but I mean, not by much.
My wife was telling me the other day, she said, babe, you hadn't been in a classroom. She said, if you go to like a junior high school, just sit in the class for a little bit, like all the kids are basically just talking, bullshitting, and like the teacher's really not even able to teach, you know what I mean? And then like they really can't discipline them, like talking about,
Right.
So
from what I've heard, like everything's smart. So the teachers don't even come up with the lesson plans. You have something sent to you, and then you, from your computer, you give it to the kids on their tablets or whatever, and then that's the lesson. And they're basically there just to, if they have any questions. But it's not like teaching like how it was.
That's fucking wild.
It is crazy. That's how it's set up. But I'm not gonna. I have 2 kids right now. I wouldn't even think about sending them to school. I'd rather just homeschool them.
Definitely.
I mean, that's your next best solution.
I mean, so you have 2 kids now.
2. Yep.
How old are the kids?
I have a 1-year-old. He's almost 2, and a 5-month-old.
Oh wow!
2 under 2. Yeah.
I didn't realize you had the second one, man. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, she snuck up on us.
That's good.
A boy and a girl, yeah.
So, Paul, I want to talk a little bit about your journey with bodybuilding. What got you into it, and like what helps you to stay motivated to keep going and growing?
Motivated. There wasn't much motivation. It was just it gave me a sense of purpose. So it wasn't. I didn't need motivation. I just did it because that's what I wanted to do. I mean, when you get into something like that, like bodybuilding, you just gravitate towards people that do the same things. When I would go to the gym, I wouldn't really hang around and talk. I would see, who's lifting, and I would go, see what they're doing. And you know Tyler, right?
Harrington?
Tyler Harrington.
Oh yeah.
He started competing first. Do you remember Body Elite?
Mm-hmm.
Old Body Elite.
Yeah.
So
the West Side, anyways.
The West Side, yeah, the real one. So that's kind of where I got introduced to it, because they had a few guys over there that competed. They had this one guy. I was talking with him, and at the time I was doing powerlifting, just doing strength training. He was like, have you ever thought about bodybuilding? At the time, I really didn't, because I was focused on powerlifting, but I powerlifted for UL. So that's kind of why I kept doing it. Once all my friends, I didn't have all them, and we weren't working out together, it kind of just, I wasn't really interested in doing it anymore. So I started talking with him, and he was like, if you want, I'll, coach you up, get you a diet, training program and all that. We could try to get you doing a show. And I think this was 2014, 2015-ish. And I had just moved back home from college, and I was still living with my parents at the time. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that, since I have the time to prep and stuff. So he wrote me a meal plan. I remember the first day he said to eat a pre-workout meal, and it was a cup of oats and I think it was a cup of oats and a cup of egg whites. And to measure it all out, and I've never weighed anything out before, but I read it and I was like, man, okay, I'll see. And then I actually weighed it out, cooked it, and I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of food. I don't know how I'm going to eat all this. And then that was basically every meal. I was like, man, this is a lot of food. I had no idea. So I did that for a few weeks, and I wasn't really into it. So what happened was I moved out of my parents' house and got an apartment. And I think 2 weeks into the apartment, I had got a dog. So now I have a puppy, and I'm still trying to do this bodybuilding thing, but I want to train the dog so that way he's not, crazy. He's behaved. So I was spending more time with him, making sure that he's, not acting a fool all the time. Kind of cut ties with the guy and, kept training. Body Elite closed. Then Powerhouse was about to open. So I went train at the Y, and Country and Tyler were working out there. Tyler was getting ready for his first show. So, he was getting ready for his first show, and it was like in August. After we met over there and we hit it off, and I was like, Powerhouse comes around, that's when I'm gonna start really training, and I'll work out with him. And that's what we did. So like during his first prep, we were working out together, and then the show came in August and I went to it. I was like, okay, this is something I can definitely do. I just gotta do it. From there, I got with a coach. Well, I actually tried to do it by myself, and I was like, I need some kind of accountability, or what it is you need a coach to help you with the learning curve. So if you do it on your own, you can do it, but it's going to take you twice as long. Whereas if you have somebody that knows what they're doing, they can help you get there a lot faster.
Dude, that's
what
best,
I did. Right.
Best part about having a coach.
Right.
Absolutely.
You don't waste as much time with the coach. Coach that I had did everything: diet, workouts, posing, all of it. So it was like 16-ish. So after that, I think we did a 20-week prep. I think I won second place in that show. And then after that first show, I realized like, this is not what I expected at all. Like I thought I was going to do this prep and then be untouchable. But it was like, after the show, I realized how long it would actually take to be good. That's when it set in, because you don't know until you do it. And then I had all these high expectations. And after the show, you're like, okay, what I did was I'm on the right track. I just have to take more time, get better. And that's the only thing you can do. I mean, all you can do is every day, one step forward. It doesn't matter how big, you got to do it.
That's in all aspects of your life too. You truly, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that was the beauty of gym for me, because doing shit that I thought I couldn't do and overcoming it helped me in other areas of my life to overcome shit that I thought I couldn't overcome too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do the hard stuff in the gym, and then everything else is easier. It would seem that way. Like that's how it was too. It just made everything easier. I think it helped mentally too, because you develop a mindset of like, you get goal oriented, and then that's it. You just start applying it to other aspects, like you said, and it just builds from there. It's just a base.
Yeah,
is what I would say.
It's so true.
Bodybuilding for me, it was super easy. To other people, it's just it seems impossible, which is not. It's just very repetitive.
Same damn foods every day.
Same foods, everything. But you don't have to eat the same foods. I mean, you could do a macro base where you just have your fat, proteins, and carbs, and then you fit the food that you want. To me, that takes too much time. I'd rather just have a list of what and then just do that. And that made it way easier, because you don't have to think about it.
I recently started wearing nothing but black shirts, so I don't have to make a decision on what fucking shirt I got to wear for the day.
You try to be like, you need to get some turtlenecks and be like Steve Jobs.
Can you share some of that stuff that you've learned through Audibles?
I mean, a lot of stuff that I listen to now is like more political and cultural based. Like I really don't even listen to too much fitness stuff anymore. It's just like, after you're in the realm for a few years, it's basically all the same stuff. It's just people tell you different ways.
That's so funny you say that. I was telling that to somebody just the other day, with the whole mindset and just understanding energy and all that good stuff, man. I listen to plenty people, and now that I come to terms, like I kind of feel like they all say the same shit.
They all say the same shit,
just in their own story,
different way. The delivery's different, and then everybody's different on how they interpret it. So some people understand what they're saying and others don't. And then they find somebody else that says the same shit. Somehow they get it, which I don't.
It's wild how that works, right? You just gotta receive it from the right person, I guess, you know?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, as far as that kind of stuff, I'm more interested now in like cultural and political issues. Like you were saying about the schools and stuff.
Yeah.
I think public school's a huge waste of time. I mean, why don't you just get rid of them? Do private schools.
They should
or at least do school's choice. Thing with like privatizing the education systems, they have competition. So the schools have to do better to get the money, you know? I mean, competition, you know, iron sharpens iron. That's how it works. If you don't have competition, then you're not going to get better. So that's what all the schools, they don't have anything. They're going to get money no matter what, you know? And now it's even crazier. If like the federal government wants a school to do something, they'll stop funding the school. Let's say you're not going to get any federal money unless you do
X, Y, Z.
Right. That's what happened with the masks and all that stuff. A lot of places down here didn't want to do it, but they had to because of the federal spending. I don't know. That's just kind of crazy. To me, what really happened was the whole COVID, that whole lockdown situation. Because for me, nothing really changed. So I do electrical work. We worked through the whole thing.
Like
so,
didn't even miss a beat, basically.
Right. We didn't miss a beat at all. And I was actually in prep for the last show that I did. So before they even announced that the lockdowns were happening, I was like, what am I going to do? I need a place to work out. They close all the gyms. How am I going to compete? So I was like, we'll figure it out. So before they canceled it, or I mean, before they started it, I hit Country up. It's like, look, man, what are we doing here? And he was basically like, look, y'all can come, just be discreet. We can't have, he made sure they had, you know, guidelines. He wouldn't only let, you know, 10 people in at a time and this and that, but I was still able to train. And so like, I was still able to train and go to work. So nothing changed for me. But it changed so many other people's lives that they'll never be the same.
Oh God, yes.
I still see people driving around with masks on in cars by themselves.
That blows my mind.
It's like, crazy. It's like, dude, take it off. What are you doing?
Right. You by yourself in the car.
You by yourself. Like, what do you? I guess better be safe than sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't get it. I see it. I see it, and I'm like, them poor people. You know, just I don't know. I think it's ignorance on the part, you know.
I think you said something earlier. Was it maybe your last show about people not thinking for themselves? That was one of the things. Just think about it a little bit. Don't just do it because somebody told you to. Just like, you know, use that brain you got.
Yeah.
And think like, hey, is this stupid? Because if it is, you don't have to do it.
It's so true.
I remember walking. It was during the pandemic. I think we were working at the hospital at the time. And I remember walking down this hallway, and at the hospital, you had to wear a mask everywhere, which was like really the only place where you had to wear it. So I was walking down the hall, and nobody was around me. Like, there's nobody in the hall. I was the only person in the hall. And I'm sitting there walking down the hallway with the mask on. I'm like, dude, this is stupid. Like, what am I even doing here? Like, I don't even see anybody here, and I'm wearing this mask. And if I don't wear it, they're going to harass me and give me a hard time about it. And then I'll get in trouble. I mean, I would get in trouble at work, but it'll be real inconvenient for, you know, for them to tell the boss.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
So in the learnings that you're doing with the cultural and politics, I'm sure you have learned like tactics and stuff for like, I know it's going to sound weird. I don't like using this word, but like manipulation, learning about all that stuff. I'm sure you kind of,
it's all manipulative. Even your media, they all want to pitch you a story, what their narrative is, and they want you to go with it. And it's mostly just trying to get sympathy points, or, you know, like Republicans are all patriotic and this and that, and like Democrats are more, you know, caring about others and, you know, helping people out. And it's both bullshit.
I was
Both
about to
of them.
say, that's
They're
so
both. It's
crazy.
both bullshit. They'll just tell
Yeah.
you whatever. They tell you whatever you want to hear, and they run on all of their stances that they run on. They don't do anything about it, because if they fix it, then they won't have anything for next time. You know, they got to keep the ball going.
Kind of like a drug, right?
Yeah.
Or
Oh yeah.
the pharmaceutical industry, you know.
Oh yeah. The pharmaceutical industry is wild. With all the money that they make, it's crazy. You know, do you know for kids, the vaccine list, there's 49 vaccines the first 12 months
For a kid?
for kids. There's, I think, 70 altogether, but 49 for the first 12 months. You get one vaccine the day you're born, usually in the hospital. You get a
Like
hepatitis B
measles?
vaccine,
Yeah.
which is crazy because
49
a
vaccines?
49, yeah, in 12
That's
months.
insane. You know, this gonna sound crazy, but to me, like I feel like sometimes like it's an experiment for them. You know what I mean? Like they'll put these
I,
drugs into the
I
infants, to
don't
the
even think
kids.
it's an experiment. I think
You
it's
don't
just
think?
you make a vaccine, you see it does something, you try to get it on the list. If you can get it on the schedule, then you're guaranteed, billions of dollars. Because every kid in America that wants to go to school has
Has
to
to
have
have those.
this. Which, I mean, there are ways around it, but I mean, it's just, I don't know. That's kind of crazy to me.
I wonder what a kid would be like in comparison that had all those vaccines versus a kid that didn't have all those vaccines.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
you could look at the Amish. The Amish don't vaccinate their kids, and they're
Speaking of that,
pretty they're
I,
pretty healthy.
I seen a thing the other day that like a bunch of Amish people got
Got in
exposed
trouble.
because of that,
Yeah,
because
because
of
of
that
that
alert.
alert. Yeah, I saw that too. That was funny.
They didn't have no idea that that
Right, that
alert
they
was
had cell phones.
right.
Right, yeah, I saw that.
that's
I
that's
actually
so
sent
funny.
that in the group with some of my friends. We got a big
Yeah,
kick out of it.
that
But
is
yeah,
hilarious.
you can't really, in today's age, to compare it to like a kid that hasn't, it would be uncommon. And the
Mhm.
pharmaceutical company would never do a test like that, or
Yeah,
or
they
like a
wouldn't want
study,
to. Hmm.
right? Because I mean, that's just, if it turns out to hurt them, then why even do it? You know,
Right.
it's a waste of money for them, really.
Right, right.
Somebody else would have to do it. Like, it would have to
Hmm.
be an independent study,
You know, that's
at
the
least.
bad thing. I feel with scientists altogether, especially in the United States, because I feel
You
that
can you can buy them.
that's it. That's
Yeah,
it. They pretty much let you know what their people that pay them, to let out. You know what I'm saying? And the
right.
other
They're like, yeah,
people,
we'll fund your research if you find if you prove this, and they're like, okay, yeah. So they get to do what they want as long as they report back to whoever, and everything's good.
yeah,
All these experts,
that's the
you
part about
know.
science that makes me nervous. Like I like science and I believe in science, but
Yeah,
whenever it's
for
money
sure.
like that involved in it, like it's
Yeah,
all what they want.
right. There's almost no honesty in it. But I mean,
Hmm.
once you get, you're playing with that kind of money. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to turn it down. They
Right.
need money for their research.
Hmm.
They're gonna they're gonna take it,
Right.
especially if they don't. Whoever is asking them to do it is gonna give them a hard time. It's harder for them to get any other funding, because they'll shut them down.
It'll be like blackballed or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's crazy.
that's, yeah, the whole science thing. The science is a new religion. It seems like
It's true.
everybody's always talking about science, and now they're just starting to make shit up. It seems,
Hmm.
but
So, where are you at, Paul, with your faith and religion and stuff? Like after doing all this
what
stuff, research and
Well,
discovering.
I mean, originally I started out Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I was confirmed at whatever 18 or so, and then after after high school, I just stopped practicing. I didn't have to go to church every Sunday, so I didn't. I would say I'm more agnostic now, more like no organized religion. Believe in a higher power, but no organized religion. Because I mean,
that's how I
it's
feel too.
hard. I mean, people are into it. I don't get it. How can you trust another person? You know, whenever people get involved with stuff, it never works out like you want it. With the organized religion, it had good intentions, but I don't think it went the way everybody wants. Look at what's happening in Israel right now. They have the Israel and the Palestine. They're about to find out whose God's better. It seems like.
What are they fighting for? You know?
Yeah, Palestine wants to not get rid of Israel, but Israel's been, well, it depends. There's two sides to every story.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Israel is saying that they're just retaliating from the attacks from Hamas terrorist organization, and then the Palestinians are saying that it is Israelis are basically creeping into their land more and more, and trying to take it all. So it's basically just a turf war.
That's crazy.
But with religious aspects to it. There's a lot. You'd have to really, like, if you want to know the whole thing, you got to look into it yourself. Because I don't think I just did it justice, but
yeah, it's a bunch of shit, I'm sure.
It's a lot of crap. But the one thing for sure is that it's fucked up. Both sides. So, like, a lot of civilians are going to die from this. And a lot of them have already. And it's crazy. All the videos, they have nothing but videos of, like, after the aftermath of the bombings, all the bombings and stuff. And it's disgusting. Like, I don't see how people can do that. You got to save yourself. Yeah, a lot of people push their responsibility somewhere else. But the responsibility is right there. I mean, you just got to see it for what it's worth and take action. You can't expect somebody to save you every time. I mean, that's one thing about bodybuilding that was cool, is because nobody could really help you do it. You had to do it. Like, if you didn't put in the work, you weren't gonna get where you want to go.
That is so true.
And
you decided to eat a pizza, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And like, you had to be accountable for that. You know, that's true.
Right. Because it's gonna show. Come show day, everybody's gonna see what you ate the past 20 weeks.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. Yeah. I mean, there's no hiding it, especially on stage. I mean, you got nowhere to hide.
That's true. So, Paul, is any competitions in the future for you, man, or just kind of something you like?
No, I think I'm retired.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to retire on top. I won that last show that I did, and I think that was good enough for me. Originally, I did want to, push for nationals and, compete with some of the better guys in the country, but it gets to a point where you have to push it hard. And I wasn't really about doing any of that. I just wanted to take my win and, try something else. So I invested, 5-6 years of time. And then for that show, it was like 2 years, 100%. And that's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. It's every day, all the time. It's all you think about, there's no break.
Yeah. I think it's good you did that. You conquered. And now, like, you got babies at home too. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And that's kind of why. That's why whenever I went into prep, I started training in the morning, because I knew eventually, I would have kids. Hopefully, I was hoping that I would have kids, so I would be able to go train, and then when I got home, I didn't have to go anywhere else. So I get up, go to the gym at 4, and then I'm done. Go to work, come home, hang out with the kids.
Yeah, that's the exact reason why I started working out early morning, was because my kids were younger whenever I first started.
Right.
And I didn't want to miss that part. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just the sacrifice we got to do,
Right. It's a sacrifice. And not only that is that, I mean, you're at work all day too. Like we have to work. So we're at work all day, so that, a few hours you get at the end of the day, you don't want to be going to the gym, missing out on that time. Because I
Yep,
mean,
man. That's
I'm at the point
that's
now where I come home and my son is, finding a new word. He's saying a new word every day. It seems like. So
that's so cool.
come home and go to the gym and miss out on all that.
Hmm
I couldn't do it. So that was a decision I made, 2 years before I even had kids.
That's
I was
smart.
thinking long term. Like a lot of
Hmm
people don't think long term. They're focused on the here and the now, and it's like, yeah, that's good. It's good to be present, but it's also good to think long term. Like where all these decisions that you're making based right now, but you got to think ahead too. I mean,
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you might put
Like,
yourself in a bad position later on because you were trying to be happy right now.
mhm,
Whereas if you would have been a little bit more careful with your decisions, you'd have sucked it up for, a little while and then later on.
reap the benefits.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm hmm
I mean, it comes down to your personal choices. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And luckily it worked out the way it did. Yeah, it's nice just coming home and just hanging out with them. Cause I mean,
hmm
I know now if I were to leave my son, he would be mad. Like he likes when I come home. He wants to, he's been with mom all day, so now he wants to hang out with dad.
Yeah, dude,
You
I
know,
love that. That's so
yeah,
cool. So,
yeah.
where are you training at these days, Paul? You going
I
to
go
Club
back. I've
Four
been going.
and
I have a
Powerhouse?
membership at Club Four, and I go there every so often. But I've been mostly training at Powerhouse still.
Got you.
I wanted to check it out because a lot of people talking about it. So every time there's a new gym, you got to at least go.
Oh yeah,
I still have a membership there. They have a bunch of good stuff, but I just go to Powerhouse mostly.
hmm
Now I went there for like 2 weeks, and now I'm gonna go like here and there.
hmm
But I think my wife's gonna start going to Club Four with a friend or something. They're gonna put their because our kids like to play with each other, so they might go. They'll probably hang out in daycare or something while they. But
That
yeah,
works out. That
it's
works
not
out.
bad, dude. They got some good pieces in there. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
They
it's
got a
it's
lot of
big.
shit in there.
Yeah, it's big and spread out. I don't know. I guess it is nice, but it's just I expected it to be bigger in a sense, you know.
I mean, pretty big.
Hmm
I didn't really have any expectations for it. I just, at the gym, I'm gonna check
hmm
it out.
Yeah,
It's not I mean, Planet Fitness is huge,
yeah.
but it has,
It's
it
Planet
just
Fitness
has
is
a
huge.
ton of cardio equipment, and dumbbells that go up to 70.
Your bodybuilding friends like you going to Planet Fitness because look, so many people look down upon like Planet Fitness, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, when I was training and we would go somewhere, I would go look for Planet Fitnesses because they usually always have somebody on staff at all times. Usually like in the morning, like on Sundays and stuff. So if I needed to go train, I would just go there. And even though the gym wasn't, that great, I would still be able to go. So I mean, it was better
Hmm
than nothing. As a primary gym, I wouldn't really go there, but like just in case of emergencies, for sure,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah. I
can get the
got you.
job done.
Hmm
But I trained at Planet Fitness for a little while, but it would get so crowded. If anything, I would just go do cardio over there.
hmm
Train at Powerhouse and then go do cardio in the afternoon because I had an hour to kill.
hmm
So I just picked one of their 1,000 cardio machines and do it,
Yeah, I hear that. I do like that
listen to
little.
some.
It's like a elliptical slash like stairmaster kind of like thing. Like I don't know what they call it, like arc machine or something like that. Maybe.
Those salt bikes.
No, 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 no. At Planet Fitness, those assault bikes are badass too, though.
Yeah, those are,
God,
yeah,
dude,
those
I
suck.
I felt like a little bitch on there the other day. I did
Yeah,
4 miles or something like that, and like I
that's
was like, "Fuck, this shit's brutal."
that's more. I went to a CrossFit workout a while back, and they had one of the things was like 20 or 30 calories on a bike on the assault bike or on the row, or you could run. And I was like, I'm definitely not running, and I don't even know how to work the
The row.
row. So I was like, all right, let me try this assault bike, and I did it, and it was like, holy shit, 20 calories or 30 calories, whatever it was a lot. And I was already gassed, and I only did like 10 calories. was like, oh
Dang.
man, that was tough. That whole workout was tough. I never went back. Never. I did it once.
CrossFit not for you, bro.
No, not for me, man. Too much moving.
Yeah.
Too much moving for me. I like to just, easy does it. I like to think a little bit, when I'm working out. And that is just fast paced.
And it doesn't matter how you do it. Just fucking do it,
Yeah, just
that's
get
the scary
reps.
part,
Yeah, that's why I like watching the CrossFit games and stuff, because all those athletes are like, doing crazy shit. But like on a local level, if you don't have proper coaching, then it gets scary. But you get enough people in the boat. I mean, it's a community thing.
Yeah.
You get a gym, and then everybody, it's just a community kind of training. So like you have a whole team of support. So a lot of people don't really necessarily care about the working out, but they're part of something, and that's what helps them keep going. That's what helps them be consistent. It's having all those people, doing it together.
Yeah.
They're all doing the same shit together.
The WOD, huh? Workout of the day or whatever.
Yeah. I would.
Then you got to beat the time, I think it is, or some shit like that.
I don't even know. I think I had a partner, me and my buddy. We went do it, and I don't even know if we finished.
One of my buddies been trying to get me to go, and I don't like to run.
You should try it just to make sure that you don't like it.
Yeah,
because it's easy to just dismiss it, but until you go try it, and you're like, okay, yeah, this sucks. I knew it was gonna suck, but at least I tried.
Yeah.
You gotta be a little open-minded about it, because if I would have liked it, I would have kept going. I'd have to practice all the lifts. I'm not very flexible. I don't have great mobility, so I'd have to work on all that. And I'm pretty good at just putting it off. I've been putting it off for this long, so
that's something I feel like I've been working on lately, was that mobility, man. Like, because my hips, like, man. How old are you, Paul?
30.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, Paul, you don't have to listen to me, but you should definitely incorporate like some mobility, yoga type stuff in your stuff. Practice yoga, stretch.
Yeah. Because I do a little bit here and there, just nothing crazy. Like I do have tight hips. I always had tight hips, so I do some kind of stretching, usually before I train legs, just to get them warmed up, and because if not, I can barely squat. So I have to do something.
I feel like that. I feel like yoga, flexibility and movement like that. I truly think that that's the fountain of youth, like, because whenever you're 50, if you can still move around like you were whenever you're 25, you're still going to feel young. You know what I mean? But if you're like hurting and like, oh, fuck, yeah, I can't bend down like that no more. You know what I mean? Like, you're just aging yourself,
Right. Well, I mean, but you actually have to like do something, some kind of exercise, or you're going to age way faster. I mean,
100%. As we get older, like, you lose muscle, right?
Right.
So
you got to do something.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just wait too long, or they get older and then they can't walk as good as they did, and they wonder why, but they just sit down all day. Like, you got to get up. You got to walk.
Move.
You got to do something. Yeah, you got to move. You got to move. If you don't move, you're gonna lose it. That's probably the worst thing that can happen to you when you get older. Is you lose that ability to walk, and that's it.
I don't know. I know it's gonna sound crazy to you, but like, I don't feel like you need heavy weight to grow. Like,
to grow. I mean, you need some. I'm old school. I like the lifting heavy. I mean, I don't do it as much anymore, but I mean, it's the heavy weights and the food. I mean, if you're not eating, you're not going to grow. But that's the hard part. If working out's easy, it's getting the food right. That's what everybody struggles with. Because you can go work out for 3 hours, and it'll be fun. But the rest of the day, what are you doing?
Right.
You getting your meals in, or you're gonna drink a protein shake and then watch TV for the rest of the day. Like,
it's so funny. I remember working out with one of my buddies whenever I used to work at the machine shop, and after we'd leave from Body Elite, we'd go straight to McDonald's and get some fucking McGangbangs and some French fries.
oh,
You know,
yeah.
like what the
A
fuck?
dirty
You know,
bulk.
but complete ignorance. You know,
Yeah, it's that
Didn't
dirty
know
bulk
better.
life. I've been there. We all did it.
yeah.
It's just you don't know.
You had a McGangbang lately?
No, I don't
You ever
know.
ate
I
one?
can't remember the last time I had
Mm.
McDonald's. Probably
3 years, 4 years.
no. I've had it recently, but not probably like a few months. It's not my go-to. If anything, I usually go with like sushi or something.
Mhm.
I mean, that's usually your better option, I think.
It's
You eat sushi?
I've I've never eaten sushi ever.
Never?
Never even tasted sushi, and it's mind blowing, but it's true. I never
You gotta
have.
try it. You probably won't
Mhm.
like. I mean, you might like some of the cooked rolls, but I like the raw ones are where it's at.
Mhm.
That's what I usually get. Any kind of like anything with tuna on it, I'll eat it.
I've eaten like fresh tuna before, like where
Yeah.
it's like pan seared.
Yeah, like tuna steak. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
that
It's the
shit
same
was
shit
good.
with rice
Mhm.
and whatever else they put on it.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
think it was
you
like
definitely got to try sushi. I don't
mhm.
know how you made it this long and never
Right,
tried sushi before.
right.
That's crazy.
For real, it blows my mind, kind of.
You should do
So,
that.
Paul, you got I'm sorry, you was about to say something, Paul?
No, I was just saying, telling you to put it on your list.
To-do list.
Yeah,
I
maybe
went to have
knock
lunch
that
with a
out.
buddy today at Rouse's, and he was like, "Man, you want to get some sushi?" I was like, I'm okay."
Yeah,
I wouldn't even know what to try.
maybe not
You
during
know
the
what I mean?
workday. Maybe
Yeah.
when you're at home,
Mm-hmm.
just in case it doesn't agree with you. You know,
Why? Sometimes you get the shits from that.
I mean, you could.
No shit.
I mean,
It's
it doesn't bother me, but some people with raw fish, you don't
it's
know how it's gonna act
Paul.
with you. So
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. Last night, my wife, we recorded her first episode of her podcast,
mhm.
and she wants to talk about your most embarrassing moments. And shitting myself was my embarrassing moment, you know, and it was just a time where like I basically just took my underwears off and I just threw them in the garbage, you know, and I covered it up with toilet paper, you know what I'm saying? But
Was
it
this
was
like
one of
at
those,
work or something?
yes, it was one of those
Ooh.
times whenever you think you got a fart
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
a little bit of shit comes out and it's like, fuck. And
They
you're just
had a
walking
guy.
to the
They had
bathroom.
a guy that worked. It was before I started working for the company, but they were doing something. They were at a job somewhere, and he was digging a trench, and he shit himself. And he's like, "Look, man," talking to the other guys, "Look, man, I gotta go. I'll be back." And the other guy didn't know what happened, so the dude left. When he came back, he had on different pants and different shoes. And the dude's like, What's going on?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I shit myself. I had to go home and change." He's like, "Damn, you had to change your shoes too? It was that bad?"
That's a bad accident.
Oh yeah,
I never had it that bad. Have you ever had that happen, Paul? Off the record.
No.
Really? Dude, like my
No.
wife said, babe, like she said, because look, I've probably done it 3 or 4 times. And my wife was like, babe, like people don't do that.
Yeah.
And I said, bullshit. Like everybody has done it at one point, you know,
No,
but
I thought I've had a couple of times, but never actually. But I'd say I'd have some
dang,
close calls.
dang.
I mean, nothing
I'm gonna have to put a poll
serious.
out on Instagram.
Yeah,
Hey,
see,
you ever
actually, if
shit
anybody
yourself?
shit yourself, they might answer that. Usually it's anonymous, huh? Or they tell you
Yeah.
who votes.
No, it tells you who. Yeah.
If you can make it anonymous, I'm sure a lot of people. I mean, nobody really gives a fuck. They'll probably
Right.
tell you straight up.
Right.
That's a cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing about social media is like a lot of people they don't give a fuck because it's over the internet.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
a lot of the stuff you say or do you wouldn't do in real life, but I guess because you're either at your home, at your house, or wherever you're comfortable at, people just talk shit.
Yeah.
And
it's true.
It's great. I love reading all that stuff. People just talking shit back and forth.
Well, Paul, I think we're about done, brother. Is there anything you kind of want to share with the audience? Some kind of inspiration stuff?
Workout tip. Yeah, go to the gym. Actually go. Don't start Monday, start tomorrow.
Dude,
Whatever you want to start, it doesn't have to be on Monday. You can start whenever you want. You just actually got to do it.
Yep, do it now, because there's no better time, you know?
Yeah, don't put it off until, you know, you have to do something.
Yep.
That's worst case scenario.
I feel like that disables people in a sense, because sometimes that build up to go actually paralyzes you whenever it's actually time to go, you know, because you're
think
like,
about it too much. You just show up.
Yep.
Don't think about it. I mean, get somebody to go with. Make it easier. Find somebody that wants to go with them, and just make it a habit. And then, and I mean, it don't have to be to the gym. You go wherever, you do whatever you want. Run, walk, ride a bike, whatever. Just move.